Focus. Okay. Nod your head at your computer screen or cell phone screen if you carry on a day-to-day basis some type of student debt. Good. Now that we know we're all on the same page, I want to give you guys some facts about student debt really quick. One, student debt comes second in our country to mortgages. It's over $1 trillion. It beats out credit card debt by a lot, and it beats out auto loans by a lot as well. So that means that people are taking out a lot of money because they see value in education. Good, I guess. So that's first. Second, 40 million Americans carry student debt. So like I said, we're in the same boat. We're not alone. There's 40 million of us that all carry some type of debt. I might have 5,000, you might have 50,000, but we all have something. Out of that 40 million, 7 million of them have defaulted. This is where it gets scary, and this is why I really wanted to talk about this today, because I've gotten a lot of questions from you guys about how to tackle your student loan debts, but I want to make sure you understand something. Doing anything at all is better than nothing. I've said that a lot before, but it's true. And especially with these student loan debts, because it can get serious. You can default on your federal student loans. I don't want to speak for private student loans because they're so different depending on the contract and the lender. But let's just talk about federal right now, because these private loans can default as well. But for a federal loan, if you don't make a payment for 270 days, you've defaulted. What that means is a few things that are pretty fucking serious. One, the government can garnish your wages up to 15%. And for those of you that don't understand what that means, pretty much means that the government can take 15% of your take-home pay from you just by sending you a letter, and you can't do anything about it. Another thing that they can do is they can take your tax refund. We all like getting that tax refund and going to Nordstrom's and balling out or going on a trip or whatever you like doing. They can take that from you if you default on these loans. So that's huge. Another important thing for a lot of us, especially my age, is that your cosigner is on the fucking hook too. Just like a fish. If you're in trouble, they're in trouble. So keep that in mind when you stop making student loan payments because you'd rather go out to the bar or use it at, TJ Maxx, okay? The last important thing about this stuff is that you cannot, listen to me, you cannot get out of this debt in bankruptcy. You could physically not own a single penny to your name and you would still have to make payments to the government on your student loans. It's crazy. I didn't mean to come out at you there, but it's intense. It's pretty crazy. So what do we do? First, let's look at a big picture. If you have more than one loan, the first thing to do is to consolidate if possible. How do I do that? You call your lender. Consolidating means you take as many of the loans that you can and you put them together in one loan and hopefully lower your interest rate. A girl I was speaking to the other day, she had one that was at 7% interest rate and another loan that was at 3%. She consolidated and they met her in the middle and did it at 5%. It's better than one having 7, one having 3, and it also makes it easier to make payments because then you're only cutting one check a month, not 2 or 3 separate checks. That's huge. Another thing that we can do is talk to your lender about changing your plan to an income-based payment plan. What that means is if you just graduated and just got a job, if you maybe lost your job, maybe you got a promotion, whatever it is, your income has changed, you need to speak to your lender because they can change your payment plan based on your income, which is huge because you don't know if the plan that you're currently on is built for someone that makes what you make, say $50,000 a year. It could be based on someone who makes $150,000 a year, and that wouldn't work for you. It's going to mess up everything else in your budget, and that's going to take you and hold you back from your goals. So that's huge. So try to get on that income-based payment plan is what it's called. Another really, really, really important thing is that you definitely want to set up auto payments from your bank account if possible. So for me, I'm going to tell you how I do it and you can apply it to yourself. I get my direct deposit into a checking account, and from this checking account, I have it set up to auto deduct to pay for my credit card, and I have it set up to auto deduct to pay for my student loan. So when I get paid, I know how much I'm going to get, but I don't even see that money because it already goes to paying off 2 of my debts, which is huge because then I know what I'm working with for the next 2 weeks. So that's really cool too. And the best part about that is that your lender, whoever you have your loan with, might actually knock off some of the interest rate for setting up auto deduction. For me, they knocked off 0.25% interest, so 0.25% of interest. Just because I set up auto deduction, it makes them feel more comfortable that they're going to get my money, and that's all they care about anyway. So you can save a little bit there, on interest at least, right? So check into that as well. But really, why are we even talking about this? Why are we even here? Why are we talking about $1 trillion in debt? Well, it's because you saw some type of value or you were told that there is some type of value in higher education, right? There's some type of value in saying, okay, I'm going to ask for $200,000 in the upfront, and I'm going to go get a degree, and I'm going to have a great time in college. And then I'm going to graduate, get a job, and I'm going to pay you back that $200,000 with the interest that you asked for. Because my college degree guarantees me that I get a great job that pays me that, right? No, of course not. It doesn't. Really, what I'm trying to get at is not share my opinion on college with you guys, because that would be a 20-minute video in itself. But what I'm trying to say is this. If you're out of college, get your shit together. You incurred this debt for a reason. Now man up and take care of it, because it can screw your credit, which can hold you back from getting a house, from getting a car, from a ton of things that you're going to want to do very, very soon. So take control of this. If you're in college, enjoy it. Seriously, if you're in college and you're taking out loans, make the most of the loans, because they very well could be the last years of your life that you're not paying off some type of debt. Depending on how much money you've taken out in student loans, there are horror stories that show people paying off the student loan debts until the day they die. So seriously, enjoy college. If you're thinking about going into college and taking on debt to do so, weigh that decision heavier than you've weighed almost any other decision in your entire life, because we're talking about something here that could stick with you until you are buried in the ground. It's crazy. Make sure that if you're going to college and you're taking on debt, that you're going to get a degree that's going to be the closest thing to a guarantee to you being able to pay off that debt, to you getting a good job to bring in enough money to pay off that debt, okay? And while you're in college, if you can start to work and save up money on the side, because as soon as you graduate, you're going to get letters that say, hey, it's the government, I want my fucking money. And you're going to have to pay that fucking money. So start thinking now, because you don't want to be 30 years old still paying off student loans. You don't want to be 50 years old still paying off student loans. And you really, and this is true, it will happen if you don't take care of this, you don't want to be in retirement paying off student loans. So man up, you took this debt out for a reason, man up and take care of it.